Hi, I'm Andi Mann from CA Technologies. I'm here today with innovator, entrepreneur and CEO of Virgin Global, Sir Richard Branson. Hi Richard, how are you?
Always well, thank you.
Thanks for coming. Look, I want to get into some questions about innovation. We've sourced some of these questions from Facebook. So we asked people to give us some questions, and here are some of the things that they would like you to answer. First one is, what's innovation mean to you and how do you encourage it in your companies?
I don't think we need to encourage it, in that I think anybody that comes to work for Virgin knows that we want to become the most innovative company on earth, and we want to shake up industries. So if it's in the clean energy sector, we want to try to develop clean fuels for our aeroplanes. If it's our technicians in our spaceship company, we want them to take our spaceship company from being a spaceship company into being something which transports people around the world at incredible speeds. We're challenging everybody throughout all the Virgin companies to innovate, sometimes in big ways like that, sometimes in smaller ways.
Okay, interesting. You've obviously got a passion for innovation and creativity yourself. I mean, you've been very creative in your business world and also in your philanthropic ventures, in your adventures. Where does your passion for creativity, for innovation come from, do you think?
Partly it's just having personal situations where I think I could do it better than that. I mean, for instance, I used to sit on airlines flying around the world. Maybe a lump of chicken was dumped on my lap. There was no entertainment system. Just thinking, it's pretty awful, this experience. Why, if I'm flying all the way to Australia, for instance, do I have to have 18 hours of no entertainment? So Virgin was the first airline to introduce seatback videos in all our seats. And for 5 years, we were the only airline in the world to have seatback videos in all our seats. And kids would refuse to let their parents fly on any other airline. And so if you can always just be one step ahead, Virgin America, we're the only airline that has Wi-Fi on all our seats. I mean, it's a little touch, but it's very important, for many people. So you just always got to be one step ahead of the pack.
This is actually from Andrea and Brian on Facebook. How do you try and communicate and foster that sort of passion for creativity in the people you work with and the people who work for you?
I think anybody that joins a brand like Virgin or a brand like Apple or a brand like Google or whatever, they're going to assume that that this brand has got to be enhanced and not damaged, and they will go all out to see if they can contribute. I think it's very important as a leader that when people come up with do good things, that they get praise, that they and if they do bad things, you don't criticize them. So anyway, so you encourage an environment where where people are praised. You also encourage an environment where people can make mistakes. So if people are going to try to innovate, sometimes they're going to fall flat on their face, and you shouldn't criticize them for that. On occasions, if you let them make mistakes, sometimes they're going to make something really, really, really good.
So talking about failures, you've had some great successes, but when you think about failure and the ability to let your people fail, when you're thinking about your business and your ventures, which of your failures do you sort of recall learning something really important from?
Well, I think the situations where we've failed is when we haven't created a product that is massively better than our rivals. So when we took on Coca-Cola with Virgin Cola, we didn't have a product that was it may have tasted as good, but it didn't taste massively better. So when you had a giant like Coca-Cola trying to squash you, they were able to do so. So the lesson we learned from that was there's no point in Virgin bothering to go into something unless it's going to be the best in the field that it goes into.
Yeah, it's good. That's great advice. When you think through the last decade, I mean, you've created a lot of innovation. You've disrupted businesses and entire industries. What do you think is one of the most important innovations that's happened sort of in the last decade?
I believe that Virgin's push into space is going to be the most important thing that that we've done anyway as a company. I think that apart from enabling thousands of people to actually go into space who would never have had the chance otherwise, we think that through being able to put up satellites into space at a fraction of the price that you can currently put them up, that will have transformative effects on whole masses of industries. From the internet industry to mobile phones, etc. So I think when people look back at this infant commercial spaceship world, it will help transform the world.
It certainly grabbed the attention of the world. And when you put it in context of social media, you put it in context of mobile devices and the satellites that you can launch, it's going to be a phenomenal game changer, isn't it?
It will be a phenomenal game changer, yes.
Now, you're very active in your role externally, in your role with your companies and so forth. You foster a lot of innovation and creativity, new things coming out. But how do you actually balance the sort of time and resources that you and your teams need to be creative and even to fail sometimes and try again, with the need as a businessman, as a leader of companies, to get things out on time and on budget and the corporate side? How do you balance that for yourself?
By finding and delegating, finding great people, and I mean, I think too many leaders try to do it all themselves, and the best leaders, I believe, are people who effectively put themselves out of business quite early on in their lives, so they can actually then think about the bigger picture. They can free themselves up to firefight when things go wrong. They can free themselves up to take the company forward into new areas. And this doesn't just apply to the owners or the managing directors of companies. I think every single person who runs the department of a company should be brave and find somebody to run that department so that they're freed up to look at the bigger picture.
Interesting. Now, you're also very active in social media. You're on LinkedIn, you have blogs, you tweet. I follow you, and as do a lot of people watching the video today. What would your advice be to people who aren't in social media yet, to CEOs, for example, who aren't believers in social media? Where's the benefit for you in the social media interaction?
I think there's a massive benefit to get involved in social media, but don't bother to get involved unless you're going to do it well, like anything. So, we've got nearly 10 million followers. It means that if I want to campaign on an issue I feel strongly about, I've got an army of 10 million people who can get behind it. If there's a problem in some far bits of our Virgin Empire, I mean, for instance, in a Virgin Active Health Club in South Africa, I spotted feedback that somebody had said something in a racial manner. Within an hour, we can jump on it and make sure that somebody apologizes about it. And as a business, you can very indirectly, sort of get word out about innovations that you're doing, so I think it's worth embracing. And I mean, some people will say, oh well, it's too late. I mean, how am I going to be able to build up 10 million followers? Well, if you don't start today, you've never got a chance. So you might as well just get on and start.
Absolutely. Just finally, you've got initiatives like the Virgin Unite. We saw the Branson School of Entrepreneurship. You're having a really big impact on youth development, and especially on STEM, science, technology, education, and math education. Why do you think it's important to excite the next generation about technology, and especially in developing regions?
Look, I think engineers and technologists can sort out most of the problems in this world, and we need plenty more of them. I mean, for instance, our Virgin Galactics, they've set up a foundation called Virgin Galactics Unite. So this is the 600 people who are going to space already signed up, and they're raising money to give to young people from deprived areas who've got a technology base, and I think that you just think, right, what's one of the biggest problems in this world? Maybe potentially global warming is a very big problem. How is it going to be resolved? It's going to be resolved through technicians and engineers, and so we need plenty more to get on top of all these kinds of problems.
Excellent. Sir Richard Branson, thank you very much for talking with us today.
Thank you. It's been great. Lovely day. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.